Hey, it's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach. It's Real Talk Friday. I want to get right to it. Want to talk about the word faith. The other night at Bible study, we talked about the word faith, and a gentleman used the expression where he said, you know what, you got to have faith. And so I brought the question up, okay, so what is faith? I mean, what is that? And so going around the room, and if you try to explain it yourself, it's not real easy. But understanding faith is to believe in what you can't see when we're talking about Christ. Again, faith is to believe in what you cannot see. And you may say, Rick, where are you going with this? Here's exactly where I'm going with it, man. So many times we say this, hey, man, you got to have faith, hey, or keep the faith. And that's great, but here's the problem. Where does their faith come from? When I hit rock bottom and I had a guy named Tom, he said, man, Rick, it's going to be okay. Just have faith. It's going to be okay. And even though I knew of God, I didn't really trust God. He was more just a word than he was an actual individual that worked in my life. And so truth was this. Based on the mess that I'd created, I had no faith. I had no faith at all. And so, that's my question, okay? So how will someone have faith in something they may not believe? Okay, what if they don't believe in God? So where does that faith come from? I mean, that's what I'm asking you right now. Figure that out. When you tell someone that never picks up the Bible, never even goes into God's house, and you tell them, keep the faith. Faith in what? The sun, the rain, the moon? Faith in what? Here's where I'm going. We're getting back again to about being Jesus to someone. If you listened yesterday, the young lady that walked across the room and she gave me a hug, I felt what? Hopeless. I was broken and I was hopeless. And I was looking for a little bit of faith, a little bit of hope, and a little bit of love. Again, faith, hope, and love. There's a movie with Ashton Kutcher, and he was training to be a rescue diver for the National Guard. And the gentleman training him said that a lot of times these people are looking for a little bit of faith and hope. And you're it. You're that faith and hope that they're praying that comes. And so I'm trying to get you to recognize opportunities to be Jesus in situations, okay? For example, let's say you go to church and you see someone sitting by themselves, and they always sit by themselves and nobody talks to them. Maybe you go talk to them. Maybe there's a man on the corner and he needs a couple of bucks. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's the lady in the line at Walmart, and she's digging to pay for those diapers. She's digging in her change. The line's held up. Everyone's fussing at her. And what do? You step up and say, ma'am, let me take care of those for you. A small seed has been planted in her mind, even long enough to say, could that have been an angel? Or, hey, are you my angel? We did a deal before school started where we passed out $100 bills to some of the rock bottom people. And we just said, go to the store. God will show you who to give that money to. That's it. I gave no other instructions except that God would show you. And I'm going to tell you, man, the testimonies that came back of hugs and crying and just disbelief. I mean, I know what I did with mine. And so when they're looking for that faith, hope, and love, sometimes it's you. Don't miss that opportunity. Now let's go to God's word real quick. When you tell someone you got to have faith. Now we're talking about the book of Matthew, chapter 17, where it says the healing of a boy with the demon. So Jesus is there, and a man approaches him and says, hey, my son has seizures, i.e. demons, is how they saw it. And so Jesus drove the demon out. Okay, let's go down. The disciples came to Jesus in private, and he said, why couldn't we drive it out? Jesus said this, because you have so little faith. I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Did you hear that? I'm going to leave you with this. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Let me say that again. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Will you this weekend be someone's faith, hope, and love? Show them the way to Jesus until they can figure out who he is themselves. Bam! It's Rick. Have a great weekend.